This is Charles Terrell with Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, here with Dr. Geihs, here at the United College Action Network HBCU College Fair. How are you, Mr. Geihs?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely, thank you for being here as well. Can you please let me know, what are your thoughts about the United College Action Network HBCU College Fair?
Oh, this is a wonderful event. You know, in my role in the Clark County School District, I supervise 11 schools, 6 of which are high schools, with about 2,500 kids in each of those schools, in a zone called the Turnaround Zone. Some of the lowest socioeconomic groups of youngsters. And I am just so pleased that you're here today at one of the schools that I serve, Cimarron Memorial, but it's so inclusive in bringing in all kinds of other kids from other high schools in our district as well. And we have 49, 50 high schools in the Clark County School District. I think it's so important because your organization simply enhances everything that we try to do for kids. Not only show them the opportunity, but push them toward opportunities. Let them know what exists for their future relative to higher education. Now, it's not just about getting them their high school diploma, it's pushing them toward other options and opening their eyes so they can do it, even if a student doesn't have the financial resources or their family doesn't. There are ways to make it happen. And as I walk around these booths here and talk to members from your organizations, that's exactly what you're telling these students. And that's exactly what educators tell them every day in the schools that I serve and other schools. So that's why I'm so jazzed about this event.
We're always hearing about the dropout rate being so high. Do you think this type of event could possibly have a positive impact in making a change in the dropout rate?
I don't think it's a possibility. I think it's an absolute fact that if students know about what their future could hold and exposure to role models that have displayed that they have done it in their past, and individuals, adults, like it's at this booth, like you and members of your organization, me, teachers, others, that yes, it absolutely helps us reduce the dropout rate because it gives kids hope. Dropouts happen, kids drop out of school it happens when they're hopeless and they don't see a future for themselves and they don't realize the necessity of short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And that's what it's about. Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain for kids. So yes, it's a sacrifice to stay in school, work hard, go to college, work hard, but the payoff is so much greater later. Not just financially, but in multiple ways. So absolutely, I agree with that statement.
Can you please tell us about your area that you represent?
I supervise what's called the Turnaround Zone. In the Turnaround Zone, schools have come to me and I supervise the structure of the zone and the schools in the zone. The schools that have come in have historically been the lowest performing in the school district for 3 years or more. Upon entry into the zone, after all of our schools that have been with us 1 or more years, has demonstrated increases in graduation rates, substantive increases. I mean, anywhere from 1 to 200 more students, depending on what year they're in, graduating. Increases in proficiency rates in reading, math, science, and writing, and increases in credit sufficiency. Credit sufficiency, kids have to earn credit as soon as they enter the 9th grade year of high school. So all of our schools have demonstrated that. And that's what we do with our structures, functions, and processes that we prescribe for the schools that I serve. So we know the recipe for school improvement, and then the schools simply deliver that recipe for the students they serve.
Do you think that economics has played a part in maybe the reasoning as to why it's been so tough for the kids to focus on education?
In the United States of America, the single biggest contributing factor to how well students do in school is their socioeconomic level. The second factor that determines how far they go with their education is the educational level of their mothering one. Not necessarily their mother, their mothering one. It could be grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, dad, or a foster parent. However, there are structures, functions, and processes that you can put place in a school that can virtually eradicate the societal implications that we know to be true, the two I just delineated, in the United States of America. And that's what we do for the schools that we serve in the turnaround zone. And I can't, it would take multiple minutes to go over all that, but I'll just go over two pieces that are critical, and you help us immensely with one of them. First thing is, the school and guys like me in a zone must be very clinical. The school must be very clinical in the delivery of instruction. So you have to know, first you diagnose where every youngster is relative to their level of achievement, then you prescribe the right intervention, and then you monitor it, just as if you were to go to the doctor. You get a diagnosis, they write you a prescription, and the doctor monitors whether or not that prescription's working. In our schools, for example, I'll give you one example in high schools. The kids in my high school, 6 of them, come to me. 75% of the freshmen are below grade reading level. 30% of that 75% are third grade or below. We have prescribed an intervention after we've diagnosed that. A mandatory, peer-reviewed, research-proven reading program. We monitor those kids. Their reading levels will increase by 2 grade levels if we do that with fidelity. We will do it with fidelity. The reading of the kids will increase, and you know as well as I do, reading is pervasive. If you can't read well, you cannot do anything. So that is one way we're prescriptive. The other piece, the second piece that you help us with, the principal and their staff must be very ministerial. You have to form relationships, positive, trusting relationships with the young people we serve, because we are there to guide, mentor, and minister to them. I'm not talking in the religious sense, but minister to them in relation to what they must do and the steps they must take to get where they want to go in life, and even help them identify their goal, because some of these youngsters we serve don't know the possibilities, don't know what hope there is, and don't know their goals. So it has to be both. You have to be a clinician, you have to be ministerial. This is a ministerial effort. This is why I'm so jazzed about what's going on here for these young people behind me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Geihs.
Thank you.
We look forward to speaking with you more, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a good day.